Hi, this is Cindy with Quantum Kaleidoscope. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm going to do a reading for the collective for the month. I'm doing this in February, but this is timeless. So if you come across this reading for the month and it's not February, it still might resonate, okay? So I'm going to do a kind of a collective energy. You might find that this relates with you, maybe someone you're dealing with, or just the overall energy of like society kind of thing. So, what messages can we tell those today to help them stay in highest vibration and on their truest path between now and the end of the month? What messages can we give? Hopefully, you've been doing well. Okay, so your cards are ready. Are you? Ooh, one of these ones just stuck. Eight of Pentacles. Do you feel stuck at work or that you've been doing a lot of work? I don't know. Because I was just sticking down. But anyways, your theme here that we have for the month is the King of Wands. So he's a king. So he's mastered the fire energy. Some of you can be fire signs or dealing with a fire sign. But this is a master. So they know how to get stuff done. Okay. So we'll see how it plays out. Okay. So that might be the theme. So there could be a lot of action, a lot of projects, especially when it comes to work. Maybe you've been feeling like you haven't been inspired, but maybe there's going to be something that gets your fire going again. Okay. So the past, what you've been doing that is related to right now. The Aeon. Okay, advancement. Okay, so this is Judgment in the traditional tarot. So you made a decision recently, okay? Or like, so Judgment, okay, this is a major arcana. So not only did you make a decision recently, you made a significant decision. And now the thing is, this is about wrapping up cycles, okay? This is number, 21, I believe. Yeah, this is 21 out of 22 card major arcana. Okay, what comes after this is the world. Okay, so what this is ultimately like Judgment Day. This is about being called, you know, to action. So you might be feeling like you've been called for something. If this has been for work, this can be like dealing with your calling, for example. But either way, this is about, also can be about raising something back from the dead. We're deciding once and for all to like end it, okay? But this is the past. So some kind of major decision that you did recently, or some kind of judgment that happened, it could even be in the legal sense, okay, is influencing you right now, okay? And this decision was significant, okay? So you right now, what we have here is the King of Swords. Okay, so it's interesting. So we have the King of Wands energy with the King of Swords energy. So for some of you, this can represent like the Swords energy between you, and the King of Wands energy can represent somebody else, or vice versa. But this can also represent elements of yourself. Okay, so this is swords, this is air energy, this is logic. Okay, this is the King of Logic. Okay, for some of you, okay, this can represent, for example, like a lawyer. So, I mean, maybe there was some kind of judgment that was made, maybe a decision to go to a lawyer, maybe even, or a decision that was made in your favor, okay? So, this could be somebody that is assisting you, or this is about kind of bringing in, like the King of Swords communicates, he's logical, but he's not very passionate, you know? So, this can be about bringing your, that fire to the logic. Okay, now again, since we did see the Eight of Pentacles earlier, this can be work, this can represent passion. Well, passion, yes, but I was going to try to say partnership, where one of you is more logical and the other one's passionate, and then together there's something that can be made. Okay, your challenge this month, okay, is the Prince of Discs. Okay, so this is night energy, this is earth energy. So it's interesting that we have some nice blend of, air, fire, and now earth, okay? So the interesting thing here, okay, is that with the King of Swords and the King of Wands, they're pretty fast. Like, I mean, they make a decision and then they just go after it, you know? So like maybe there was something in the past, you know, where you made a decision and now, oh, I just put the bottom of the deck down. We have death, so which is transformation. So there could have been, really, I do believe this is something where you might be switching from a more of a logical mind and embracing more of your passionate side. Like, what gets you up in the morning kind of thing, right? Okay. But so there might have been some decision that you did or some kind of judgment or some kind of call to action where you're just like, I want to go. I want to go. I want to get this done. Okay. I have this new inspiration, this new idea, this new truth. Okay. But the challenge is the Knight of Pentacles. So this can be about like, this can be telling you to, like, reminding yourself to, you know, make sure, you know, you don't go too fast. You know, dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure that, like, what you have decided to get done can be done in the right way. Also, with it being a challenge, it could also mean that, you know, maybe things are going a little too slow for you. You're like, okay, I got this idea. Okay, I feel like this, you know, this rush of energy, this new life. Okay, I want to get started, but man, there's paperwork I gotta do. There is this and that and legal sides, and man, I just want to get this over and done with. Okay, so your message from your higher self, or whatever the case is, however you want to look at this, from the universe or whatever, okay, is the Princess of Cups. Okay, so this is about getting into your emotions. Okay, so we have and this is about new emotions. Okay, so like, you see how, like, I don't know how clear this really comes in, but there's, you know, she's really watery, she's in her emotions, and so it's really interesting because we have the air, so with the master of the air, we have the master of the fire, okay, and then we have kind of like the teenager, or the, you know, middle-aged kind of knight of discs, and then we have these younger, fresh energy of emotions, you know, so it's like, it is telling you to really get excited, add some creativity. Okay, this can be about expressing your emotions. Like maybe if you've been too logical, too by the book, maybe. Okay, like the Princess of Cups, she's in love with love. You know, she's in love with her emotions. You know, it can, like, with this being like a message from your higher self and all that, like, I mean, like, yes, the downside is that she can get stuck in her emotions, right? Like, and just kind of let those emotions and the ideas kind of take her over. But I mean, like, with this, you know, air, fire, and earth energy, okay, this is telling you to get excited about something either you want to create, you know, or like, okay, if this is about a project, okay, whatever you're going to create, you're going to fall in love with it, okay? Like, I mean, embrace this excitement, embrace what your heart is calling you to create, okay? So the unexpected might come in this month. It's the Ten of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, I mean, on the downside, like, I mean, you could be planning on, like, especially if you were going to see a lawyer or something like that, you could potentially plan to end something, like maybe you made a judgment call, or there was a judgment call by somebody else or whatever to end something. And then this Ten of Cups can represent that ending, okay? But that ending would lead to something very passionate, okay? But for other reasons, if that doesn't resonate, okay, and it doesn't matter regardless. Like, I mean, you know, unexpected is, I think, happiness. Okay, like, I mean, there's not, like, I mean, okay, again, it can be an ending, you know, especially if you've made that judgment call. But I mean, you're leading into that happily ever after. Okay, it's like by following your heart. This is like that excitement of the Page of Cups. Like, you know, she's so excited, you know, excited about trying to get that, you know, happily ever after, you know, that emotional fulfillment, that fairy tale. And I think it can come in. Like, there's something that can make you really happy. Okay? And your guidance, you know. Seven of Swords. Buddy, Okay. So, Seven of Swords. What do you have to communicate? What do you have to say? Like, and then is it something about this judgment? Like, whatever decision you made, now you have to disclose it, you know? For some of you, it can mean, like, okay, since this is the guidance, Seven of Swords, I mean, it can mean to keep your plans a little bit more secret, to yourself, only to those that you trust. But I mean, if there's something that you need to communicate, okay, we do have the Knight of Swords. I mean, the King of Swords, right? He does communicate. He is about the truth. Um, so I mean, if there's something you need to disclose, okay, Seven of Swords is this sneaky, energy. It's, in the best case, it's strategy, but I mean, in a lot of cases, it's deceit and lies and, you know, stealing. Okay, but this will never guide, this will never, your guidance is never to steal, your guidance is never to lie, okay? The King of Swords knows his truth, he respects justice, okay? He respects honesty. Okay, so if there's something you need to disclose or be honest about, okay, like this can be about stepping into your, okay, if you've been more of a night energy, like still learning, mastering the energies, the judgment can mean that recently you stepped into the last phase, where you need to, those last lessons, those last, rites of passage, okay? And so where is this taking you? The King of Cups. Okay, so I mean, for some of you, this is definitely can be work related, partnerships, working a lot, but I mean, this is about, like, for some of you, you're starting to step into, like, that emperor, the king of all the kings, okay, that boss, that badass boss, okay, like, we're missing here the King of Pentacles. So some of you might already be, really stable and secure, but like this is about, okay, we have, that passion, like underneath, okay, the truth as being the overall theme, and the outcome is emotions, love, the King of Cups, like there is a nice balance, and for some of you, it can mean a lot of people, a lot of, again, a lot of dealings and stuff like that, but I mean, hopefully that makes sense to you, okay? I'm going to find out a little bit more about this King of Cups. Like, the outcome can be, like, this can represent somebody else, coming in. Like, maybe if you're truthful, what you need to disclose, okay? There's, this King of Love coming in, regardless of gender. Okay, this is somebody who masters their emotions and lets their heart, follow. Maybe it's about, when you're like guided to start with that page energy, to start that new, and it's like throughout this process and being honest with yourself, you will be able to master your emotions. Okay, what is this King of Cups? And this is the outcome throughout the end of the month. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles did show up. Okay, that showed itself in the thing. So, I mean, there's definitely is something like, okay, we have the Five of Wands here. So, there could be definitely something with a work partnership, or something that you want to work on with another. Okay, for some of you, this is somebody from the past. Okay, there's been like either somebody recently came back from the past, or you've recently decided to take some action about this, Okay. What's the takeaway message for those who are watching? What will help them throughout the month? Sorry. So we have Nine of Swords here. Nine of Swords, Three of Cups. Okay, so some of you, okay, we did have a lot of people. So I mean, some of you could be choosing between either different partnerships, different employees, different lovers even. Okay, but we also have the Two of Swords. Okay, so this is about making a decision. This is about, like, I think, you've been blocking your heart. This suggestion is to bring, like, I mean, maybe you've been thinking too much, Like, and then planning it out to details. Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, trust your gut. Like, I mean, with the King of Wands, underneath, okay, the everything is that, like, you know, he gets that flame, that inspiration, and goes for it, right? But the Two of Swords, okay, like, again, you can see the water behind, so, like, sometimes it is useful to block your heart, but other times, like, those emotions are going to come in. The emotions are needed sometimes, okay? And what we have is the sun underneath. So, I mean, I think you've been making this, you've been trying to balance your thoughts, and maybe blocking your heart a little too much, and you need to put that in, okay? But you're going to get clarity, okay? So some of you may need to do some meditation in order to bring that clarity, okay? And what we have here is, okay, so we have the sun, surrounded by these twos, okay? So there's definitely a partnership here in the works, okay? And for some of you, it can mean that there, is too many people, or it can mean that, there, you want to reconcile with somebody from the past, because we do have this Three of Cups energy too, okay? That is friendship, that is abundance, okay? And so here is about, so this is thoughts. Okay, and then we have the sun, which is fresh, energy. Some of you may need to get outdoors and enjoy the sun and enjoy nature in order to bring that clarity. Okay, but what you have here is Two of Pentacles. You have change. Okay, this is actually taking the steps. Like, I mean, some of you might be, there might be a little bit of a juggling, like a little bit of, one step in the past, one step in the in the future, but you're balancing everything. Okay, you're balancing the work, okay, and you're starting to step into something new. But okay, there's something that is stressing you out, okay? So maybe if like, you're taking on too much work, okay, then you need to bring in somebody else. There's something that you might need to disclose, okay? Some kind of strategy or some kind of thing that you've been thinking a lot about, okay? But I do believe if you're honest with yourself, if you're honest with those that are needed, like, okay, you can silence these swords, okay? And you're gonna end up as the King of Cups, or the King of Cups is coming in. There's somebody who is emotionally stable, somebody who knows what they want, and lets that heart lead them. Anyways, sounds like a fun month though. Hopefully that was helpful. Stay tuned. I'm definitely trying to do some more reading. So, hopefully you're doing well, and talk to you soon.